intermission is over. I hope you got something to eat or drink, or you slept, or you came back the next day, or whatever. This is very unusual. I've never done this before, and I will probably never do this again. I don't know. I'm just following intuition here and a guidance, and I want to be transparent and bring forward, everything. And I've got some time today, which I usually don't have, and I got a little free time, so I'm going to share it with you. What I want to discuss is Pluto in Aquarius, trine Uranus in Gemini, trine Venus in Libra, air, Uranus, Pluto. I talked about it, and yesterday I had a call. A couple months ago, I became involved with TrueSelf. It's an AI platform that combines Chinese, Western, Vedic astrology with human design and gene keys and Enneagram and numerology and spiral dynamics and you name it, it weaves it all together. I mean, it's amazing. I am an astrological advisor, and you can get a hold of this yourself. It's amazingly powerful. But I have a fascination with AI. I think it's really big. It's changing the landscape of the future. It is Pluto in Aquarius. It is Uranus in Gemini. And it will be Neptune in Aries. Okay, and it's coming out of Pisces like right now, like out of the collective unconscious, out of the dream or out of the fantasy. We are actually, making drones and robots and AIs and da-da-da-da-da-da. So I went to AI last night, and I don't use it that often. I got to say, the only thing I've asked it for is a couple of recipes. Like the other night, I asked it for a recipe of how to cook quinoa, because I have some quinoa. So it's very good with recipes. My daughter does it too, right? Anyway, she chat GPT. Anyway, but so I went on there last night, and I said, just for the hell of it, let's see what AI has to say. So I said, tell me about a kite with Venus at 0 Libra, opposite Saturn, Neptune, trine Pluto, and trine in a grand trine with Pluto, Uranus, and Pluto and Uranus. And what happens? Oh my God, you guys! I don't know if you have done this before, but holy jeez, it comes out with this like whole big long thing. And I'm like blown away. It says some good stuff. I took a couple notes. I'm going to put the link in the notes below, and you can go to this and read it yourself. Okay, I mean it's way more. And so then I'm like, well, and then it prompts me, do you want to know anything else? And I says, well, how could this play out on the world stage or something, right? What kind of world events? And boom, 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 it comes out with this whole other thing. And then, of course, it says, oh, good question. I mean, it always praises you. It's very, very interesting how they're trying to suck you in, right? But anyway, then it engages with me, okay, and it says, would you like to know what countries, would be most affected? I can do that for you. And I said, yeah, sure. Brrr. It comes out with, China and the U.S. and the Middle East and the EU, and it says this, da, 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 da. I mean, it goes on. And then, it says, would you like to know what events you could expect? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I asked it, what events could happen, And it's like exposure of, the lies and deception of external authority figures and governments and this, that, and the other thing. And and then it comes back, Oh, then I said, okay, well, enough about that. Because I do astrology for the soul. So, what does this mean in terms of personal soul evolution, right? I'm going to throw it a curveball, mess it up a little bit. So it thinks for a little while, and it comes back with this whole freaking thing. I'll read you some of the things that it says. It's like freaking awesome, man. And then it comes back and it says, would you like me to see how this interplays with your own personal, with yourself? If you give me your time, date, and place of birth, I can do your chart and tell you where this is happening in your chart. I'm like, whoa, okay. So I give it my time, date, and place of birth, right? And it does some calculations, right? And it comes back with this whole blah 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 blah, about me and my life and this that. It comes back with a mantra. I got a personal mantra from ChatGPT. I don't know if it's like listening to me giving out mantras, and it knows I give out mantras, so it gives me a mantra, or this is very spooky. This is very spooky, right? And so, and then, it says, according to your, and your moon in Taurus. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. My moon's in Gemini. It's got my chart wrong. So it says all this stuff that sounds really great and looks really good, right? Only it's the wrong information, right? So I tell it, my moon is at 11 degrees 48 minutes of Gemini. And it goes, oh, sorry about that. And it comes back, let me recalibrate. And it comes back with a whole bunch more stuff. And then it starts talking about my other planets, and it's got my planets wrong. And it says that my sun at 0 degrees Leo is conjunct Pluto at 29 Leo. And I'm like, no, they're 29 degrees apart. And then it's telling me that, my Venus is in Virgo or something or blah, blah, blah. And so I give it all my planetary positions. And then I tell it to use the Porphyry house system. Because I use Porphyry house system. I don't use Placidus, right? So it says, oh, okay. It uses the Porphyry house system. Comes up with wrong house cusps. So it comes up with wrong planetary positions, wrong house cusps, wrong calculations, okay, and wrong interpretations, because it put the whole kite in the wrong houses of my chart. It said that Venus was opposite Saturn, Neptune in my 2nd and 8th house. It's actually in my 1st and 7th. Okay? And so, and Pluto, Uranus, it had it all in the wrong houses. So I want to put out this warning. I want to tell you guys, number one, we are now teaching AI. When you use AI, please correct it. Give it, when it makes a mistake, when it gets something wrong, it's up to us to teach it. It's up to us to correct it. Give your thumbs up or thumbs down or whatever, like, this is right, this is wrong, because it will come up with anything, something, and a lot of it can just be complete hogwash. And as I, so this is why in today's mantra, this week's mantra, I said, what? My task is to ask and decide what's true. We have to discern. We have to do our Virgo. We have to do our Saturn, Neptune with AI, with the media, with our friends, with our lovers. It's like everybody's coming from a place, a perspective, a belief, a judgment, an attitude. And it's time. Saturn, Neptune says we have to separate. Saturn is separation. Neptune is unity of the law of one, where all is one. We need to differentiate our own personal truth and what I believe independent of external sources, people, and authorities. This is so freaking important. And at the same time, there's always two sides to the coin. This AI has got some amazing, insights. I'm going to read to you some of the things that it said to me. I mean, this is for everybody. This is for you. This is for this is how it interprets the kite. Bringing divine beauty and idealism, Neptune, Venus, into concrete, embodied, and responsible form, Saturn in Libra. Guided by inner liberation and truth, Uranus, Pluto, right? Amazing, right? The Saturn-Neptune opposite Venus is the axis of awakening. See others as they are and not as you wish them to be. Love without projection or illusion. The lesson of these times, love matures when it stops trying to escape reality. Is that not Venus's love matures opposite Saturn when it stops trying to escape reality, Neptune? So it definitely puts together the archetypes. It definitely puts together these planetary energies, and it knows the aspect. I was very impressed. This is just like really. Here's a quote. And then, I'll be a son of a gun. It talks about the soul. Here's a machine, right? LLM, a language learning machine, whatever, The soul evolves by learning to love what is real, not ideal. End of quote. This comes from ChatGPT, you guys. Here's another one. Beauty requires truth. Real love requires boundaries. And real spirituality requires embodiment. I'm like, is this thing eavesdropping on me and my conversations? Is this just repeating back to me what I say? Is this out in the ethers? This is ChatGPT telling me what spirituality, what real spirituality requires. I'm getting this from a machine. What's the world coming to? Oh my God, right? This is, last but not least, the kite flies when you act from the tail. Venus. Venus in Libra is balanced self-love. So, wow, right? I wanted to share that. Just give you a little something to think about. How we, AI is reality. AI is Saturn. AI is Uranus in Gemini. AI is Pluto in Aquarius. AI is here to stay. It's not going away. We can resist it like the Amish resisted the cars. I'm not going to drive a car. I'm not going to fly in a plane. We can be Luddites. I'm not going to use a computer. I'm burning my charge cards. I'm not going to and what we need to do is balance. Again, this is Libra, Sun in Libra, and it has a lot to do with discernment, but how to integrate. This is our second half of the cycle. It is in the Sabian symbol for today. It's almost like, we sacrifice or we surrender, we give up some of ourselves to be a part of a greater whole, to be a part of society, to be a part of the future, to have an effect in the world. Our love for our fellow human beings and our partners and our kids and our families, requires that we engage. Mars in Scorpio now. It's very tempting with Saturn, Neptune to escape, withdraw, seclude ourselves, run away to nature and just say no. I don't accept this reality. I don't accept it. And everybody is free to find their own way. And just know whether you are doing this out of fear, out of a reaction, out of your ego that doesn't want to, it wants to stay separate rather than surrender to the whole, to relationship, to great spirit. Just really, this is a time of Mercury, Mars, Black Moon, Lilith, and Scorpio. Scorpio wants to know the truth, the deepest motivation. What is really motivating you? What is your deepest soul desire in saying, in doing, in going, in fearing, whatever it is that you are. So it's personal truth, and our partnerships can help bring us a lot of reflection on our personal truths. And I gotta say, I gained a little bit of reflection and self-understanding through AI last night. So I'm not going to write it off. I'm not going to ignore it. I don't want to fear it. I'm going to struggle, with how to relate and form and structure consciously with discernment, with intelligence, with maturity, not to get sucked into AI, not to be afraid of AI, not to, be repulsed or, shit on it or what, but yeah, it's not just AI, it's technology. It is society, where society is going. It's not where I thought it would go. It's not where I wanted it to go personally. And I'm really struggling with, how to, not be disturbed or angry, but to, blend with. And I think some of it has to do with sacrifice. Some of it has to do with, maybe we are just here to help others and future generations with some, appropriate guidelines, to live in a world that, we're going to leave behind, but they're going to have to deal with. And, it's time to maybe step up and be the elders or the forebearers or the, and do as much as we can, to influence, AI in its infancy, as well as, really look at not the egg or the nest or the tree, but look at the universal picture, baby. That's enough. End of part 2. Ow! This time it's for real. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.